Hello from Australia, my name is Olga and I'm completely blind. And today I have Melany with me. Hello Melany.
Hey Olga, how you going?
Very good, thank you. So today Melany and I are going to prepare an Italian feast made of authentic lasagna, pesto salad, and garlic bread. And then Melany is going to teach me how to make a very nice cocktail. Which one would that be?
A lemon cheesecake cocktail. And I thought because you were going Italian, I thought, well, I'd better incorporate some Italian in my cocktail. So we're going to have some limoncello in there.
Yum.
Mm-hmm.
So why Melany is here? Because she's been going lately through vision loss. And she thought, oh well, we'll get together and I may share with her some tips and tricks as a blind person and as a trainer for visually impaired people, how to do things in the kitchen. Could you please tell us a bit about your vision?
So I have retinitis pigmentosa, and that's where the retina is slowly degenerating. So my eyesight now is just fuzz, some light shows, I'm completely night blind. Have trouble with contrast and writing, like actually seeing what things are. And so for me, cooking actually has been a bit of a challenge lately. I used to love cooking all the time, and I kind of got a bit lazy and put it off because it's just...
We're gonna fix it.
Yes! Get my cooking mojo back.
Absolutely.
So Olga, now I'm going to be asking some questions as we go along because it's just awesome to watch and learn. But my first question that popped into my mind was, how are you going to know what is the tomato, what's in case you grab baked beans instead? That wouldn't be good for our lasagna. So how do you know which can is what?
Yes, so to answer your question, I took out of one of my drawers a divider that I use. So have a feel. It's a divider. This particular one has 3 partitions and 3 sections, but I have multiple dividers like that, so I can organize lots of different things in the same way. But each section of the divider has a braille label in it.
Oh wow!
I mean, if you don't read braille, we can come up with something else. Let's say 1 dot for diced tomatoes, 2 dots, for instance, for corn, 3 dots for mixed beans, you know? So this is how I organize. And also the cool thing is that once you replace your product, you put the new ones at the back. And then you take at the front all the stock. So that's how you rotate your stock without having to check the date.
That makes perfect sense.
Another option is to use technology. So that's probably a separate video, but you can scan barcode just with your phone and it will tell you what product it is. Or you can take a picture and it will read the text on the product to you. So that's another way of dealing with it.
Great, thanks.
Okay, so I've got an onion on your cutting board. We're going to start with preparing bolognese sauce. For that we will need 1 kilo of lean minced beef, an onion, several garlic cloves, fresh herbs that I collected with you from the garden, and 800 grams of diced tomatoes and a small pot of tomato paste. I think it's 100 to 140 milliliters. Okay, so how do you feel about dicing an onion?
So
is it any challenging?
It's good. It is challenging. What I find helpful at home is I use make sure I have contrasting colours. So for me, that's like say a red or a green. That's right. And so I can see just that I am finely cutting it. And also having that blade and the knife in the same spot all the time is good to go to.
So they actually sell very inexpensive dicers. You can get just in Kmart. I had one and then I gave it away to someone because they needed it more than I did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't using it. But I think now that I'm teaching visual impaired people to cook, I will get another one. So that's the simple gadget that allows you to dice your onion, avocado, tomato in one go.
Yeah.
So you put half of the onion in it, you close the lid, and it's diced into square. So you're doing well?
Dicing it up, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to add some oil into the skillet so we can cook our onion and garlic.
What type of a knife is this one?
This is a Japanese one. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's really different. I haven't used one like this before. I like how it feels to hold on to.
So do you have any trouble when you pour oil in the...
Oh yeah, I have to get my head at the right angle so I can make sure I can see it.
Okay, well, you don't really need to see it. The trick is to buy bottles that have, what do you call it? You know that it portions how much comes out. The same as with alcohol.
Yeah, I was going to say, same as making a cocktail. Those,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this one has that. Whereas if you buy like a 5-liter bottle, it will just pour like crazy, like a full waterfall. So it's a better value to buy your oil in bulk, but I think you're going through it a lot quicker because you can't see exactly how much you're putting in.
Yeah.
And obviously all those extra fats that you don't need.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, you know, with this, you know, it's just sprinkling some oil in.
Great.
I think sight in cooking is overrated because really you think you need to see everything, but there are other ways, other senses that you can use.
Yeah.
Lots of visual impaired students ask me, how do I know the meat is ready? I can't see. Well, you can use timer.
Yeah.
You can use when you're using oven, you know, the rule that is 500 grams per 30 minutes. So those sort of rules.
Yeah.
Or with meats, for instance, that we are going to cook today, it's about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, right, to brown it. So you can always just set timer. All right, how are we doing with our honey?
Okay, so I've got the knife on the side there. Can you just inspect if I've chopped it finely enough?
Sure, I can do that. I'm just trying to put this magnet on the... Oh yeah, there we go.
Now, is this what kind of a stovetop is this? Because I'm not seeing any dials or buttons.
Okay, so this one is called NAF. The brand is NAF. And when I was looking at it with my husband when we were building this house, I said clear, no, I can't use it. The truth is I can. So it has on button that is easy to find, and then to set the temperature there is a disc.
Oh yeah, yep.
Try to try to rotate it right. So touch, make contact, you'll hear a beep, and then you rotate it right. Oh, hang on.
Wow.
Just a second. Let's see.
So can you move that dial around?
Yes. Like this.
Wow.
And you can hear, because it's induction top, you can hear that the heat kicked in and actually how high it is. It's pretty high because the sound is pretty loud. But you can also count the beeps to know how hot it is.
Yep, that makes sense.
Oops, I turned it off. So this is...
See, I have an induction at home and I thought, oh, I'm not going to, that was another struggle. But the way you just said that is listening to the beeps. So for me, just listening to the beeps rather than trying to get down and have a look close at it.
Oh, you can burn yourself that way, because if you're cooking a couple of things, if you bend over, you can accidentally touch with your face the another hot pot, and you don't want to be doing that.
Yeah.
All right, so let me see how you... Oh, you did an excellent job chopping that onion. I'm going to add that in. And we are going to chop some fresh garlic.
Okay.
Where did that go? A lot of garlic.
In the bag.
Yeah, but I thought I took some out already. No? Maybe I didn't.
No.
Alright, so I'll give you just it's 4 little garlic cloves.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry about chopping them too fine, because anyway they're going to be cooked quite well. I'm going to get a spatula. So as you chop it, you use your eyesight a bit?
I do.
Yeah, well, so you can start with blindfolding yourself, so you can train yourself not to even look. Because I've heard actually from some visually impaired people who are going through vision loss that it gives them headache when their vision is so little, but you're so straining to use it that it's almost better to put blindfold on, so you don't even have to go through that choice.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's put garlic in, and the next thing will be our minced beef going in. So the sequence will be, we will make bolognese sauce, we will make the cheese sauce, and while they're cooling a bit, so it's easier and safer for us to handle them, we will peel and stick in the oven some pumpkin.
Yep.
And while the pumpkin is roasting, we will assemble our lasagna.
Great.
Then we will make the pesto salad dressing. And while our lasagna is baking, we will make the salad.
Sounds delicious.
All right, so I'll grab that in. Now we're going to prepare herbs to add into our bolognese sauce. I've got a piece of cooking twine.
Yeah, cooking twine,
Yes, so I'm going to lay it flat on the bench, and in the middle of the cooking twine we're going to put all our herbs. So we tie it all together, and as we put it and cook it in the sauce and ready to pick it up, it's so much easier to take it out in one batch rather than trying to fish one, twig by twig.
Yeah,
so
that's really clever.
we are going to put oregano, communion garlic, some rosemary, and basil into our bolognese sauce.
Yep.
And I will give you the honor of tying the knot. Okay, I'm going to...
So you're creating a herbal bouquet.
That's right. Okay, I'm going... Oh, and I forgot thyme. We've got thyme in there as well. So let me wash this up. Alright. The fun bit. I'm happy to hold it all in one bit, and you just tie it. You can just do knots because we are not going to untie it. It's all going into the bin once we're finished.
Can you put your finger right?
Yeah.
I was going to say put your
okay.
finger there.
Okay. I thought you were saying take the finger away. Okay, excellent.
And then we do a second one down further. What I'll do is I'll just tie a knot there. And then we can go down like this.
Yeah.
Happy to on that end.
Yeah, you can wrap it around a couple of times if there is
Good
enough
idea.
length.
Yep.
Okay, so this is maybe something you don't need just yet. You can see where the skillet is, but you know how they say, hope for the better, prepare for the worst. Let's say you can't see where it is. So you can listen where the sizzling is happening, but you can also put your hand just a couple, you know, of 20 centimeters above, and you can approximately then feel where the center is, because you don't want to be putting on the edge. So it definitely goes in. So would you like to put diced tomatoes in?
Sure.
So we're putting 2 tins of diced tomatoes.
I'm going to use this theory. I can't feel heat. Now I can feel heat here, so this would be a safe spot to pour.
Yeah, that's
Should
my
I open
feet.
my
That's my
eyes?
feet.
All right, I'll try it again.
Let's try second one.
Try it again. Here we go. Here, no, I can't feel it. Can't feel it. Oh, something's hot over here.
That's my head. I'm just cooking with you again.
There's the heat there. I'll pour it in. But probably not from a great height, otherwise you're going to splatter tomato everywhere.
Yes.
Like, I can imagine I would be so messy cooking blindfold. Seriously.
You will get gradually. You will gradually. Yeah, you will be okay. Alright, let's put tomato paste in.
Sure.
Just a small.
Just a couple of spoonfuls?
No, the whole thing.
Lot?
The
okay.
whole lot.
Alright. Nice.
Okay. Then we're going to add some salt.
Yep.
So when I add salt, I never use a shaker because I can't tell how much I'm putting in.
Yep.
I mean, you can use a grinder, but imagine how much you need to grind to add enough salt for a big dish like this. So what I do, I buy salt in a bag and I transfer it into a container. And then I label the container that it's salt, and also when I'm actually using it, I just take a pinch.
Oh, good idea.
I use measuring spoon to measure how much salt I'm putting in. Lots of recipes actually say, you know, a teaspoon of salt, so that's easy and accurate.
Good.
So get the salt down. Okay, so we also want to add, before adding herbs, some brown sugar. This is secret, okay? So no spaghetti bolognese, no lasagna that includes bolognese sauce is good without some brown sugar. 2 tablespoons, and it's really making a big difference. Okay, so I'm going to add some salt, 2 pinches of salt.
Now, I have to confess, I've had a really bad cooking experience, and to see that big container of salt like it brings me back, because I made a dessert, and it was a lime impossible pie, and what it needed was 1.5 cups of sugar, and what I accidentally did was I did 1.5 cups of salt.
So did you pour it from a bag?
Yes, it was in a container, and I should have done the finger test first and actually tasted it, because I served this at a party.
No.
Yep. It did not go down well. 1.5 cups of salt instead of sugar. It didn't go down well. Someone had a bite of it and just went, oh, gross, and then I realized what I'd done. So So
Well, that's again, you could use labeling in braille, or you could put, let's say, on sugar 1 dot, on salt 2 dots. Or
that's a very good tip.
I'm going to grab
And now I just pre-taste. I just dunk and taste.
Okay, and we've put everything into our bolognese sauce. I'm going to set timer for 15 minutes so we can simmer it for 15 minutes. Set timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Counting down.
How cool is that?
Awesome.
Let me turn the temperature of the bolognese sauce down. And now we are going to make cheese sauce.
Yep.
So the good thing is that I know the trick how to not make it lumpy. Do you have any issue with the lumpiness in your cheese?
Yes, I do have issues with lumps.
Okay, so I'll tell you the trick. You don't sort of brown your flour in the pot like most recipes would say.
Yeah.
Instead, you measure your milk and your flour in the mixing bowl, whisk it really well so no lumps remaining. Then you pour it into the pot with some butter.
Yep.
And as you are heating it on medium heat, you continue whisking it. And
That's
so
a really
there
good
is no chance for the lumps to appear.
All right, I'm going to watch close.
No, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
All right then.
All right, so I'll get the milk out. I don't want to put the milk. Now measuring with cups.
Yes, measuring.
Okay, we can use scales for, like, you know, we have 3 cups of milk. We need 3 cups of milk, 6 tablespoons of flour. So we can use scales. Or if you want to practice cups, how I do it, so even if something spills, it doesn't matter. First I hold the cup just above the bowl where I'm pouring, or whatever I would be pouring it in. In my case, it's a mixing bowl. I hold the cup in one hand the way that my index finger is free to touch just the edge of the cup, so I feel when the milk reaches the edge. And it's okay if you go a little bit over, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So, okay?
Oh, great.
Okay, so you can try that. Alright. Let me know
Okay.
if you need help. I'll start heating.
Oh yeah, by putting it at the edge of the bowl, I'm able to pour it easily. There's fingers free, so I'll be able to feel it. Okay.
So finger free, so you can feel the edge of the measuring cup as the milk getting toward the top.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
And so, yeah, three cups
So I'll
of
put the
milk.
3 cups in.
Yeah, and then we will measure 6 tablespoons of flour, whisk it, cook it until the sauce starts getting thicker on the stove in a pot, and then we will add 1 cup of cheddar cheese and half a cup of Parmesan cheese.
That's great.
Was that 3?
That was 3.
Excellent. Now the flour. And again, my flour is in a labeled container, so it says flour in braille. So yes, it's the largest spoon in the bunch. So as you are taking, scooping flour, make sure you use your finger to level, so you don't put heaped tablespoons in.
And how many of these am I putting in?
6, please. Yes. Now we've got simmering butter in this pot, and we've got whisked milk with flour. Do you feel comfortable pouring the milk in?
Again, I'm feeling it's hot right in the middle there. Now, do you gradually pour this in, or do you just pour the whole lot in?
Whole lot, but not with any force. So
Yeah.
you don't splash it.
Not
to the
from a
sill.
great height.
Yes. So now, if you grab the whisk, and as it's heating, we won't continually whisk it, so there are no lumps forming. And while you're doing that, I'm going to measure cheese Once the sauce starts getting thicker and starts pretty much simmering, we are going to add the cheese.
Great.
Now we're preparing our pesto salad dressing. So we've got some garlic, fresh basil leaves, in fact 2 types. One is lemon basil, one is sweet basil. So we're also going to add 3 tablespoons of fresh pine nuts, and we're adding it all in a blender, and half a cup of olive oil, a pinch of salt, and a juice of lemon juice. So that's how we're going to make our salad dressing for today. Alright, we're going to assemble lasagna. So I put 1 layer of instant lasagna sheets at the bottom of the foil tray, and I'll give you the honors of putting a layer of bolognese sauce, and then a layer of cheese sauce, and then we repeat it 3 times. So another layer of lasagna sheets, bolognese sauce, cheese, again, and then we will top it with lasagna sheets, cheese sauce, and some cheese, just shredded cheese on top.
Lovely.
Alright, let's see. So basically you have to keep in mind that you need to use for each layer 1/3 of the bolognese sauce, because that's all you need. So if you can approximate what
That's a good idea.
what a third would be. Whereas cheese sauce, we need to sort of approximately use 1/4 each time, because we need 4 layers of cheese sauce to top the lasagna.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And as you put bolognese sauce on the lasagna sheets, make sure you spread the sauce. So you probably can see a little bit, and you can see how evenly you spread your sauce. Whereas I use clean hands, and of course the spoon, you know, to spread it. But I also kind of like, not that I use my hands to spread the sauce, but I kind of just double check a little bit, but touch it lightly to make sure it's all even.
Yep. Good one. Okay. I think I'm right for cheese sauce now.
Okay, let's swap the pots. I'm going to see, if there are no, you know how sometimes if it's sitting for a bit, it can have like a crust?
No, it's great.
Yeah, so just 1/4. It's always better to leave more for the last layer than not enough.
Yep. And there are definitely no lumps. That is a really great technique.
Good. Alright, so Melany did a great job assembling lasagna. The last bit is to put some cheese on.
Yeah.
So we've got 1 cup of tasty and half a cup of Parmesan cheese again. And if you could please just evenly spread it over. And we will stick it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 50 minutes. Sometimes if the oven is hot, people may want to cover the lasagna with foil for last 15-20 minutes, but my oven seems to be okay, so I can keep it uncovered for 50 minutes. Our feast is ready. We've got lasagna, pesto salad with greens, and roasted pumpkin and garlic bread on the table. Alright, give it a go, Mel. Try what it tastes like.
It smells amazing. I can't get over the herb bouquet, because you can smell the herbs big time.
Michael.
That was delicious.
Good.
Thank you, Olga. I've learnt so much. It's really, really good.
Anthony, what do you think?
Awesome. Well done, Mel. Better than others.
That's a teamwork.
It's super, Mom.
Okay. Good job, Mel.